across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win. And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake pit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. Is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And let's look quickly here at the Denver offense. And how about Phillip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year third on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsay. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. The 6th season in Denver now for Emmanuel Sanders after those 4 years in Pittsburgh. And you may recall Sanders tore his Achilles December 5th last year in practice. But before the injury, he was on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Would have been his 4th in his first 5 years in a Bronco uniform. And now at 32 years of age as he tries to return to full speed. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Flacco. It's caught by Sanders. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency. Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Operating off play action. Flacco. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good. It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. They'll be led out by the MVP of Super Bowl 52 in his 8th year now out of Arizona. It's Nick Foles.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not. And he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. We'll look now at our starting defense. They're slightly better than average against the run, number 14 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Foles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Von Miller. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability and a sack resulted.
And Denver getting set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Miles Jack with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Well, we talked about Philip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018, the Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Philip Lindsay. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They can't stop us. They cannot.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Got him in. He finds Sanders. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they skipping when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. And tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, two teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Fournette running right. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Tighten up. Pull together.
Now Foles. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for James O'Shaughnessy as tight end, but it'll be 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Foles. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The throw taken in by Hamilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. They'll run on first down. Lindsey. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
As a DN, when you play the run, you don't always have to make the tackle. Just have to use the right technique to make sure the play goes where you want it to. And in this case, did an excellent job stringing this one out and making the tackle at the end of it.
And for a loss. Flacco from midfield. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority.
And he's going to go down again. Calais Campbell in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And now out come the Jags.
Check, 47. Watch the run,
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. A pass there complete to Westbrook. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And down inside the 15 he goes. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. He'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to throw again. And he's got his tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins, for a Jags touchdown. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. A quick throw going to be caught by Hamilton. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Matt Ryan, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Jacoby Brissett, as sharp as you can be throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On third down, he'll drop to throw. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got room. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. But what can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Setting up to throw, Flacco. Got an open man, it's Fumagalli. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to let this go deep for Lee. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side here with Fournette.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go! Yeah, let's get set. Watch. Deuce. Sponge. No. Hatch it.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
On the ball! 60 to go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
First down, Jacksonville.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Safarian Jenkins has it. 27 yards there, a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Foles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Adams. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that moves them up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Flacco, and that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Flacco. He's got his 6'5 receiver, that's Tim Patrick. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 30.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Flacco will let this thing go for Sanders. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Flacco looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They'll find Lindsey here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Flacco toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Now they go screen. It's complete. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Now a first carry for their fullback. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Fournette, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Fournette. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Elsewhere across the league, 4th quarter action in Los Angeles. And scoring again, the Rams have widened that lead a bit further. Jared Goff, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Counting down to 30 seconds remaining. He'll look to throw. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll look to throw. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. He's back to throw. He's got his tight end Fant. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game